Am I on? I'm on. So our next speaker is a very close friend of mine. Karen Messersmith is a physical therapist in Stockton, California. And she's also quite an athlete. So she's going to talk to you about Nikken and performance.
Thank you, Karen. Well, I first want to say thank you for all the presentations done this morning. They were informative. I have a slide that's going to show how every speaker kind of touched what I'm going to talk about. So thank you, all speakers. Am I supposed to click the next one? Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for you. I am an athlete. I've been active in athletics all my life, especially in running and triathlon the last probably 10 years. So I'll tell you my story. I'm also a physical therapist, so I work with athletes, chronic pain, kind of the gamut of getting people moving. That's my passion. So you can see in this slide, we need to move towards better health. Pretty much everything that moving does was talked about today with our Nikken products, so we can hit people from all different angles for better health. So it doesn't matter what activity you do, Nikken products can only make it better. This is my family. Some of you may have seen this slide before, but this is us about 6 years ago. We did a team triathlon. So I've been introduced, raised my kids on Nikken products, and it's allowed us to be as active as we have been. My kids did triathlon growing up, and then high school sports, 3-4 sport athletes per year, and I thank Nikken for having that foundation. My son Ryan, many of you have heard this story, but I'll repeat it for those who haven't. Unfortunately, he was diagnosed with a kid's hip disease at 4 years old. That's about the time that Nikken came into our lives. And I used, being a physical therapist, I'd work on Ryan every night. I'd run magnets all over his hip. He wouldn't move. A half hour later, he would move, and it wouldn't hurt. So this kind of went on until the orthopedic doctor finally said, "You're already doing triathlons. I release you from care." And what Ryan heard is there were no limits. So Nikken has allowed him to then go on to high school sports, All-American, sub-5 mile, and this is Ryan. This is Ryan a summer ago. Actually, Ryan plays now ultimate frisbee in college. If you can't see, he's about 2 feet off the floor, jumping in the air, definitely reaching for the stars. And last night he plays for Santa Clara University, and last night they played against Stanford. Don't know the score yet, but I know they did a great job. So Nikken also gave me my health back. I had chronic pain in the midst of growing up. Thought I would never walk, run, do anything physical again. And as you can see here, I finished the Boston Marathon a couple years ago.
Wow.
And I only show this because to me, anything is possible. 2 years ago was my big one. I am an Ironman. So
All right.
I could have never gotten to the starting line without Nikken, nor to the finish line. So what I'm going to talk about now is how you can approach athletes. Because every athlete has a gym bag, has a sports bag, right? They carry it to every competition, they carry it to the gym, wherever they go, they have a bag. Well, I choose to fill mine with Nikken products. So let me walk you through what I do and how I would approach athletes. The first product I got introduced to was the insoles. Someone was kind enough to introduce Nikken to me. I stood on the insoles and felt tingling up to my waist. That caught my attention. Athletes know their body, they know how to perform, they know what makes their bodies perform better. So all the demos that were shown today, you've got to demonstrate products with them. If you just say they'll be better, well, they hear that from every other product out there. Demonstrate products on them. The Mag Duo, this is probably my best friend. Before workouts, you can warm up to this. After, it moves the lactic acid out of your body. I've used it, how many places, how many sites. I've also used it on other teammates after races. They'll go, "Wow, what's that? What is that?" I did one on a marathoner who did 3 marathons 3 days in a row, like sub-3 pace, and I rubbed out his friend, and he kind of looked back and looked, I rubbed out his leg, it just took all the soreness out of his leg immediately. So catch people's attentions with something as easy as this manual. My necklace. I actually take my necklace and my bracelet and I intertwine them. I do this because it hangs lower where I want, so it opens up my breathing. I also hook it into my sports bra so it doesn't go anywhere when I swim, bike, and run. Wow. So it's just a handy thing to do, but it works better for me. But these things are simple. Again, simple to, we know, simple to demo, etc. For any, I've helped cyclists who can't cycle because of their neck pain, and with our necklaces, now they can. Put them down and arrow. I don't go without this. My Ironman, I got through the 112-mile bike because of this. I kind of just kept shoving it around my back and my legs and whatever I needed it to get through that ride. But this is handy. If you have anybody who has problems breathing, especially with the athletes, people use their inhalers. I teach them how to put something right here and open up their breathing. Whoops. Our water, what can I say enough about water? Athletes have to be hydrated. Why not introduce them to the best water ever? So I do. And don't forget about this. This is a little, mine is much bigger than this that I use, but actually I've used this too. Athletes should know if you're recovered, that's your avenue to compete better the next day. Especially if you're competing in a tournament. My kids, my daughter plays volleyball a couple days in a row, or soccer tournaments, or whatever it might be. You have to recover. So between the Mag Duo and something as simple as showing them how, some of them might travel with a cocoon or whatever, or showing them what this little thing can do, this is your recovery tool. With athletes, do not forget about the bone pack. I did not know. I got introduced to this when I was training for my first marathon, and we used to do bone. Dr. Gary would do bone meetings, and my bone density was in the tank. And I'm like, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. What's going on? I did not know your bones or your muscles will starve your bones for calcium. Endurance athletes do not know that. USA Triathlon put that out years ago. So educate your athletes about bone health. And there's one more thing in here. Oh, two more. Super minis, I call them our Band-Aid magnets. Easiest thing to demo on anybody, quick result, quick change. Somebody needs something to compete. My daughter put two power minis on her shoulder, boom. She was able to compete in her volleyball game. There's one more thing in here, you probably all know what it is. Duct tape. If in doubt, use duct tape. Now, again, I taped your shoulder the other day. This is something I use for recovery. If I have a race, my legs are duct taped as soon as I can shower and get the tape on. CM cream is great. I don't know where my sample of that went in my bag. That's another great recovery tool. But duct tape is something simple. So, to me, everybody is an athlete who wants to move more. Don't contend that it's just an athlete. Oops. Oh, thank you, Gary. This would not fit in my bag. However, every athlete should have one of these too. I think every person should have one of these too. I use it to roll out quads, roll out calves. My son playing ultimate frisbee. I showed up at their regionals the first year he played with my Mag Duo and one of these. And I will probably roll half the team. The next time I told Ryan, okay, you need this because Mom will be here in the next tournament. Actually, they asked, can you come to all our tournaments? So yes, this is a great, great tool. It's also our tool to show what it's like to sleep on a sleep system. So I remember the days I used to roll out backs. Well, now I roll out legs in different parts, but giving a good old rollout is probably the best demo of our sleep system. Okay, so like I said, everybody wants to be active, so you don't have to be, quote, an athlete. I just spoke about it in my terms as far as my experience. I want to bring up another athlete right now, my friend and colleague. Don't look at me like it's not you, George. George Snyder, and he's going to tell you about another sport.
Karen. I met this young lady through Kaiser Foundation. I was a truck driver, retired Navy, bad back. She was a chronic pain management specialist. Guess what Kaiser had me on? Pharmaceuticals for over 9 years. She wasn't allowed to tell me about all of this because of her employment. I met this man on a golf course. I was introduced to this product. I ordered one. 6 days later, I stopped taking the pharmaceutical. I said some not publishable words, and I took the device to my doctor and I said, look, this is what I've been talking to you about my body fixing itself, not increasing the medication. She said, oh, those things don't work, you'll be back. It's been 11 years. The reason she introduces me as an athlete is because I am a certified golf instructor. Been doing that for quite some time. That's why I was on the golf course, was why I met him. But in my golf bag lives 2 of these. One for me, and one to loan out to whoever I get partnered up with on the golf course. Because one of the demonstrations you saw up here had to do with your flexibility. I can show a golfer, generally on the 3rd tee, after they're starting to tighten up and curse a little, how to get their flexibility back. And then on the 4th tee, it's like, what did you do to me? I didn't. Your body knows what it needs, what it wants. Let it work. These live in my golf bag. I no longer stop at the turn like we did that one day and couldn't play the rest of the back 9. We played about 6 holes of the back 9 and our stomachs were so upset from what we had had for lunch. We were done. It was just, it was some kind of hot dog sandwich or something. It was just like,
Then do it.
really? Again, these go along with the KVB. I love it. I've got 2 of my favorites here, and I've been told by other people, I can't stand that chocolate. Well, then don't eat it. I like it. I can't stand that chocolate. Well, then don't eat it. I'm on Rick's side with that side of the equation. If you don't like it, then get one that you do like. My daughter doesn't like either one of these, but she likes the cherry. So when she orders her KVB package for every month, she gets 3 cherries. Works. You know, whatever works for you. And then let that work for your people. Thank you, Karen.
This is a great picture. I actually went on the golf course to see the guys golfing. Dr. Gary and George are out there, and maybe one day I will golf. I have one more thing for you. These are 3 words on my dream board this year. I want to re-qualify for Boston. I have some Nikken stuff. But these 3 words, I know all of you know very well. And these 3 words motivate me. You know, I feel my job is to educate, inspire, and to empower. And I've been inspired and educated all weekend long. And inspired, of course, and I hope I've done a little bit of that for you. So go out there and have fun, stay mobile. If I can help, just let me know. Thank you.